ancient Greece. And there are quite a number of them here. So the ancient Greeks made contributions in many fields of learning and they developed new innovations. Why were they so innovative? Well, there's a couple of factors. First of all, the Greeks emphasized education and the pursuit of knowledge. So here we have a picture of Socrates, who was certainly one of the examples of this emphasis on education and the pursuit of knowledge. Also, many Greeks could afford to support academies and centers of learning. Again, supporting academies that Socrates built, for instance. And Greece's location along the Mediterranean Sea allowed for trade, as we mentioned before, but also the spread of diverse ideas and the ability to bring in achievement from other parts of the ancient world that they um, improved upon. Now, the first achievement we're going to focus on or accomplishment is Greek democracy. The foundation for USA's Democratic Republic, which was where we vote through elected representatives, began in Athens with their development of the direct democracy. So, Athenian citizens participated in government decisions by voting. A council would propose laws, and then all men over 18 years that wanted to could vote. The approved ideas would then become laws. This should sound familiar. Greek literature and drama was also another of their accomplishments. So maybe you've heard of the writer Homer, the poet who wrote the famous stories of the Odyssey and the Iliad, which many of you may read in your language arts classes, and they're read all over the world. Drama was also important to the ancient Greeks. They were the first to develop comedies and tragedies. Theaters were built that were open air and built in a way that everyone in the audience could hear and see the action. So here we have a picture of a Greek theater called an amphitheater. Maybe some of you have gone to the amphitheater. I believe CU has one. Greek architecture and art. The Greeks were among the most talented architects of the ancient world. The Parthenon, which I showed you a picture of, was a temple made of marble in honor of the goddess Athena, and is probably one of the most famous examples of Greek architecture. Many tourists visit this site every day. They also used columns. The Doric column, the Ionic column, the Corinthian column. You see those on many buildings even today. And they displayed murals of mythological scenes of their gods in their buildings, like this picture here. Greek art also featured sculptures, and they began carving life-size statues very early on. Greek sculpture was innovative. It showed realistic human beings and movement. You can just feel this god, it's probably one of the gods, moving up into the heavens, being tugged by the humans below. Greek artists tried to show ideal human beauty, which often was represented by these nude sculptures. Greeks were also famous for their mathematics. In fact, they developed many important concepts that are still used today. Scientists use pi to find circumference of circles. Euclid developed proofs that became the basis for modern geometry. And another Greek named Pythagoras tried to explain everything in mathematical terms. He created a theorem about relationships of sides of right triangle that is used all over the world, called the Pythagorean theorem. So maybe you've used this Pythagorean theorem to solve problems in math. So the value of A is 3 and B is 6, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's the Pythagorean theorem. So let's take a minute to pause and answer some questions below.